The following is a presentation of TFNN. Time to talk about your health. Living a primal lifestyle.
We have Mike from Chicago on the line, and he has a question about digestion.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, guys. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
First of all, I just wanted to say that I love the show. I think it's great programming, and I'm very much of a like mind when it comes to, taking control of your own health and certainly doing your own research.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now your hosts, Nico Haan and Paige Clarke.
Welcome, happy Friday, and welcome to Living a Primal Lifestyle, exploring a return to a more balanced, natural, wild world where we have a personal choice, personal health, and personal freedom. Thanks for joining us. I'm Nico Haan. Paige is out today. She's got a personal day, but I have a great guest coming up. It's a beautiful day here in Downtown Clearwater. It's about 65 degrees, and please subscribe to my newsletter called Health Signals. I have a brand new one coming out to you right now, and please pick up some Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. You can do this on the TFNN website at tfnn.com, and we're taking your calls at 877-927-6648. My guest today is Lynn from Lynn's Kitchen in downtown Clearwater. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Nico.
Oh, this is great. I've been to your place a number of times, and I just love the place.
Thank you. Well, we're fairly new. Mm-hmm. We opened up at the end of July.
Okay.
And I have to tell you, I never thought I'd be in the restaurant business.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, now, how the heck do you get into this business from not being into it?
Well, this is what happened. Last February, my daughter called me.
Okay.
And she had just gotten out of the emergency room for the second time in 6 months with migraines.
Oh my.
Now, I've had trouble with Jessica her whole life practically with migraines, and we've done a lot of kind of healthy handlings, right?
Okay.
Took her off of all gluten, and it definitely helped her quite a bit.
Yeah.
But it just never really solved the whole problem.
Okay.
So she called me in February, and I had just gotten this cookbook for autoimmune, paleo autoimmune. I had a girlfriend who had Hashimoto's,
Okay.
a little thyroid disorder.
Right.
And she wanted some help with her nutrition, and I said, here's a cookbook. I just picked it up. Let's try this one. Well, Jessica called me like 2 or 3 days later, and I said, okay, I'm going to put you on the paleo autoimmune protocol, and let's see what we're going to do. It's not going to hurt.
Right. Now, is that protocol any different than just the paleo diet itself? Or?
Absolutely.
Okay.
With paleo, obviously you're off of all grains, you're off of all legumes.
Right.
Some people are off dairy, some aren't,
Right.
But with the autoimmune, you eliminate the grains, the legumes, the dairy, also eggs, also nuts and seeds, and the nightshade family.
Nightshade family, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So those 6 categories, pretty much, if you're going to have any kind of food sensitivity, allergies, inflammation, those, if you take those 6 out first.
Yeah, and then you can kind of add them back in.
You can add them back in or whatever,
Yeah.
but that's at least a first way to start. Otherwise,
Right.
I tell people, go get a blood test and see if you have food allergies. Because
Yeah.
sometimes, honestly, this happened. I had a friend who goes, oh, I want to try that. Well, he had just gotten his food allergy testing done.
Okay.
And guess what? He was allergic to coconut. I would have been filling him full of coconut flour, right?
So you better check first.
It's a good idea to check first, or I tell people...
coconut is a nut, too.
It's a nut.
So, there's the problems.
You don't know. And then, ironically, the friend I was trying to help was allergic to beef, chicken, broccoli, green beans, all the things that were on the paleo autoimmune protocol, right? So, and here I am making beef stock and chicken stock for her. Didn't help at all.
Wow.
But she got herself blood tested, she got those things handled, and now she can come back and eat these kind of foods, right?
Okay.
But back to Jessica. Jessica, I put her on this autoimmune protocol, and within 2 days, her migraines disappeared.
Nice.
Didn't come back.
Wow.
So here I am, I'm making her lunch and dinner for her, 7 days a week, right? Her friend says to her, do you think your mom could cook for me too? Because I've been getting sick, I get stomach problems, I miss work.
Wow.
So Jessica calls me up, Mom, can you put Jamie on and, we can just both kind of eat the same thing. So I went, it's no more cooking for 2 as it is for 1.
No doubt, it's easier, right, in a sense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I start with Jamie. Well, Jamie, within 2 to 3 weeks, all of her health issues had pretty much disappeared. Okay, she was losing weight, which she wanted to do.
Right.
Jessica was losing weight, no migraines there. Both their energies were better.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, their other coworkers and friends are watching what they're eating at work,
Yeah.
and they're like, hey, where did you get that? I want some of that,
Yeah.
right? So I got to the point where within like about 2 months, I had 15 people asking me to cook for them.
Wow.
Strangers I didn't even know. Just, oh, somebody recommended, right? So I went, okay, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to have to find a kitchen to
Right.
work out of,
Right.
right?
So that's really what you were looking for. Is just a
I was
kitchen.
looking for a kitchen.
Okay.
And I'd looked around several different places, and you know, you can rent them, but you have to take all your stuff in,
And take it out again.
take it all out again. Still didn't solve my problem.
Oh, now, were you looking in the downtown Clearwater area? Or what's it?
Well, not really downtown. I was looking more of these kind of rent-a-kitchen places. And there was one down on Largo. There's a couple down toward Dunedin in that area,
Yeah.
right? Then my friend Mercedes said, let's go look downtown. So that restaurant that used to be 421 Cleveland
Right.
had been vacated for a couple months.
Okay.
And we went and looked at it. I actually looked at it twice. The first time I went through, I went, oh, I don't need a deep fryer. I don't need this. I don't need that. And then kept looking around, and then I went, you know, let me go look at that kitchen again. So we called the landlord, went in. He goes, what are you girls planning to do? You know?
Yeah.
Because he wanted to make sure we were going to make it,
Of course.
right? And
Yeah,
had something
yeah.
that people would come to.
Yeah.
Well, at the end of the day, he goes, it sounds like you have a different enough concept that it might make it.
Oh, really?
And that's how we got 421 Cleveland. And I opened up in July, basically to do the good to go meals, right?
So you were not thinking of having people in?
I wasn't thinking with a restaurant. I thought, let me just start with the good to go. I can build that business
Right.
up, get a good core, and then I can look at expanding into the restaurant.
Right.
I mean, it needed repainting,
Yeah, I'm sure.
a lot of
That's a nice
redecorating.
little space, though. How many seats do you have in there?
I've got about 35
Yeah,
to
that's what
40
I was
seats,
thinking.
depending
Okay.
on how we configure things.
Right.
Yeah, it's a nice little space.
Yeah.
It was actually the perfect space to start with.
Now, were you thinking of just like sometimes you serve people, sometimes people just serve themselves? In other words, you serve them and they go to the table, and how did?
I'm kind of like the Panera Bread of Paleo.
Okay, yeah.
Right? You come in, you place your order,
Right.
we call it in the kitchen, we
Right.
bring it out to
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Right? That's how we are right now.
Right.
Now, we've gotten so busy, we're going to have to.
You expanded your hours too.
I had to. I had to go to 8 o'clock. I was trying to close at 6:30 because, you know, usually most people by 6 o'clock downtown Clearwater, everybody's
Yeah,
going home.
If you don't understand what downtown Clearwater is about, it's completely different than just about any other city, because we have like thriving cities like St. Pete and Dunedin that have this really beautiful culture with restaurants and little breweries and people walking the streets. In Clearwater, we have the Scientologists pretty much walking the streets.
Exactly.
And everybody kind of stays away, and the way they run their businesses, they kind of have that authority in a sense. You know, at least they think they have. So not a lot of businesses have come to this area because of that.
Well, there's
But
that. But
I think it's helped you.
here's the other thing that's
Yeah.
happened. You know, there's a lot of businesses that have moved into downtown.
Right.
Right, a lot of technology businesses. I mean,
Right.
in this building here, you
Yes.
guys have expanded quite a bit, and I
Definitely.
know the Bank of America has quite a few.
Yeah.
So for me, as a restaurant owner, what I have is I have a lunch trade primarily.
Yes.
Because that's when people are here in Clearwater working.
Right.
And generally they go home by 5:30, 6 o'clock.
So that's why the hours were to 6:30.
That's why they were till 6:30, and I kept it that way because people could come and pick something up if they
And go
wanted
home.
to take it out, right?
Right.
So that's kind of what happened to start with. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't planning, as I said, to open the restaurant,
Right.
but one of the realtors that was right next door to me
Mm-hmm.
posted on Facebook, oh, here's a new paleo restaurant coming to Clearwater. And people started coming in.
And I do have your page up right here. So on the telestrator, Carol Lynn's Kitchen, a return to real food.
Exactly.
And yeah, so go on with the story.
Okay, so people started coming in, and they wanted something for lunch.
Yeah.
the chef I had said, let's just have a couple soups people can try, and then they can try our good-to-go meals.
Okay.
Which was fine, but they really wanted hot food.
Yeah.
And my good-to-go, you pack it and you reheat it, right?
Right.
So here's what I did. I went, okay, let's do this. Realize I hadn't done any redecorating. I really wasn't set up, per se, to be serving in, right? Per my standards, anyway.
Right.
So we went ahead and we did 2 entrees a day. We changed it every single day, and it gave us a chance to kind of test market, if you will,
Right.
what people were really interested in. And it caught on. I started selling out of food by the end of lunchtime, so I didn't really have things by the end of the day.
Okay.
And then I had to kind of, okay, people kept coming in more toward the end of the day, and I got to the point where it would be 7 o'clock and people were still coming in
To order.
because they had heard what we had.
Right.
So today, if you're on my mailing list, I send you out a menu every single day.
Oh, cool.
And you know what I have. I've got 2 different entree choices, sometimes 3. We always have 2
So
different
how do you get on
soups.
that mailing list? You go to Facebook or?
You can go to Facebook. You can also come into the restaurant. You can call me. I'll put you on the list.
Okay, and the number there is?
Well, we're at 44 Paleo, 727-447-2536.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And that's 21 Cleveland Street, downtown Clearwater. It's about halfway between the Capitol Theater and the Starbucks.
Exactly. Dead in the middle. In that
Yeah.
yellow colony building.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's right beside the sushi place.
Right beside
I don't know
the
how good the
sushi place.
sushi is there, but
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's
Okay,
not bad.
good.
Yeah.
So tell me, like the entrees today. What do you have today?
I've got some seared wild-caught salmon. Delicious.
amazing,
It's
amazing.
always a sellout.
Yeah.
Okay.
My wife had that when we were there the last time.
That's right.
She loved it.
That's right. It's so delicious. And I've also got, we've been using the Nyman's Ranch beef.
Yeah, that's the one in north of San Francisco. that place?
Nyman's Ranch is kind of a group of farms and ranches, pretty much in the Midwest.
Oh, in the Midwest. Okay.
Yeah, all the way up through Idaho.
Okay.
And they're just small farmers, and they basically have pastured meats.
Nice.
They have I get the beef from them. They have pastured pork.
Nice.
I get all my eggs through Nyman's Ranch.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, and these are the pastured eggs.
Right.
Okay, these are chickens out
Yeah, I know.
eating worms.
Wonderful.
Yeah, exactly. And
You can always, when you crack that egg, you know it's.
you can tell the difference.
Yeah.
I mean, it was amazing because I was using the organic eggs before
right.
that,
and
right?
There's a big difference in
And
those.
as soon as I got those, I went, this is unbelievable. I make quiche every day. And just changing the eggs changed the entire texture
Sure.
and
Yeah.
flavor of
Yeah,
that
people
quiche.
don't realize when it says organic, it doesn't mean that the chickens were eating any organic food at all.
Exactly.
You know, it's really quite devious in a way.
Exactly.
Folks, we're going to be right back. Please give us a call at 877-927-6648. Talk to Kara. You can talk to me. Also, please pick up my Health Signals newsletter and pick up some Primal Edge daily nutrition. And Kara and I will be right back. You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Check out the new look of Tiger TV. Now you can see all hosts, charts, and computer screens live in high definition. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pezzamento, Andy Hecht, Thinkorswim, or Daryl Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV. Now, crystal clear in high definition, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't seen the new look of Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investments, and whether you're bullish or bearish on Chinese stocks, the ETFs from Direction Shares are there to help you magnify your perspective. Bull ETFs for a rising market and bear ETFs for a falling market. Direction Shares gives you the tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Nico and Paige take your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back to the show, folks. Nico and Lynn.
That's right.
Yeah. So we were talking about your daughter, I think it was. It was Jessica.
Yeah.
And we were talking about, so she was 2 weeks, she was feeling better. So what happened after that?
Well, she was feeling great. 5 weeks into the program, she missed breakfast one day. She's on her way into work, so she went, I'm just going to stop over at Starbucks, her favorite coffee place, and I'm going to get a croissant sandwich. Well, croissant, wheat.
Yeah.
She had dairy, you know.
And the caffeine probably
And the caffeine wasn't the best for her. I mean, I couldn't get her off coffee all the time. But anyway, by that afternoon, she was down with a headache, right?
Yeah.
By that night, midnight, she was back into the emergency room. It was so bad. In fact, they had her on the scale to weigh her, and she fainted. She was so out of it, right? It was just so painful for her.
Oh my goodness.
So
she was that sensitive.
She was that sensitive. And I didn't get home till like 5 in the morning. I find out the next morning, right? So I go over to see her, and she just looked like death warmed over. I'm like, Jessica, what the heck happened? How did this happen? You were doing so well. I don't know, blah, blah, blah. And then I said, well, did you change anything that you ate yesterday? She goes, well, I had my meal. She goes, oh, but I did stop by
Starbucks.
Oh my gosh. I said, Jessica, wheat is not your friend.
Yeah.
You know, you just cannot do it because look what happens. I mean, and obviously she'd been off of it for 5 weeks.
Yeah.
So now when she had it, it was just like toxic poison
Yeah.
to her body.
Now, you mentioned before you even started this whole thing that you were grain-free.
I was grain-free. I had read, let's see, about a year and a half ago now, Primal Body, Primal Mind.
Nora Gagatis.
Nora Gagatis.
Great book.
You know about that one.
Yes.
And I'd heard about paleo before, and I was kind of like, yeah, whatever, you know. I'd been through or read so many different kind of diets, you know.
Now, were you ill yourself, or what were you
Well,
fighting?
I wasn't personally ill.
Okay.
I, like every woman in this country, wanted to lose some weight.
Sure.
But back in 2008, my husband came down with brain cancer out of the blue. Didn't know what happened. He had 4 surgeries. We had him going to alternative medical doctors just simply because, I mean, he couldn't have done chemo even if he wanted to because of the surgeries. He got an infection at the tumor site. So our whole goal was basically to let him do his bucket list and give him the highest quality of life that we could.
That makes sense.
You know?
Yeah.
And so we had some great alternative doctors that were helping us, and every single one of them said, make sure that you give him some good quality grass-fed beef.
Is that right?
That's right, because of the CLA.
See, the doctors are doing things different. We were talking the other day, a couple of shows ago, about doctors and what they say and what they do, and they do different than they tell their patients.
Traditional doctors, yes.
Yes.
But when you get into the alternative,
then they're starting to get on the mainstream because they're really ethical people, I would imagine.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Well, they're there to actually help that
you.
patient and try to make that patient well.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
You know? So I changed that and, you know, take them off of all the grains. Obviously, you know, no sugars for cancer patients.
Right.
That feeds cancer.
Yeah.
So off of grains as well. So I bought this book, Grain-Free Gourmet. And that's how I was cooking for him.
Yeah.
3 meals a day,
Yeah.
sometimes more, you know, to help him. And I noticed a difference, and he noticed a difference, putting him on that kind of a diet. So
see, when my sister was going through her cancer treatments and she wasn't able to feed herself anymore, you know, I was looking at what the chart was saying about what was in that little tube or that little pouch. And the first ingredient there is high fructose corn syrup.
Of course.
You know, so here you're killing the patient.
Exactly.
I mean, it's unbelievable. It's just, you know, and the food in hospitals is not to rave about anyway.
Don't talk about that.
But but the medication itself, you know, here you're only feeding her one thing, and you know, the top of the list is something that you would never think of using.
Exactly. Well, a funny story about every time he would go in for surgery at the hospital, I would cook all of his food and bring it in for the day. Of course, the doctors had to sign off, and by the second and third time I was in there, it wasn't even a question.
No problem, yeah.
You know?
The first time they really looked at it? Or,
yeah, they were kind of like, what are you doing? I'm like, well, I'm going to bring his food in because what you have here is just not going to work for him, right?
Yeah.
So I think it was the third time we were in, the dietitian for the hospital came up because they would send the trays up and we'd send the trays back, right?
And so they were wondering.
And so she came up and she's like, okay, what can we feed you? Well, once she saw what I was feeding, she said, bring him whatever you want.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was great.
That's a great story.
Yeah. So he had a good diet while he was in the hospital, at least.
Folks, we're going to be right back. The number is 877-927-6648. Stick around. We're going to talk a little bit about what's on the menu coming up, and St. Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
You've heard Nico de Haan as co-host of Living a Primal Lifestyle, which airs every Friday at noon Eastern Time on TFNN, and would like to tell you about the personal training studio that Nico is the owner and president of, Performance Training. Since 1998, Nico has trained individuals and groups to improve their health both mentally and physically. As a certified personal trainer, Nico's main focus is on demonstrating exercises correctly to avoid injury and teaching his clients how to manage their past injuries while getting the most out of their personal training sessions. The Performance Training Studio is filled with unique training equipment that enhances balanced results at a faster rate while minimizing damage and discomfort. For more information, you can give Nico a call at 727-418-8740 or email him at nico@tfnn.com. Let him know you heard him on TFNN and save up to $100 on a special package just for TFNN listeners. Act today. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
No matter where you listen to TFNN programming, we want you to know you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones and iPads, located at the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a mobile connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all of our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and radio call and talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com. Educating investors. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back to the show, folks. Nico and Lynn here from Lynn's Kitchen in downtown Clearwater. We're looking at the menu on the telestrator here. Today's special, wild-caught salmon, only $13. The pork meatloaf, $11 for a portion, right?
Well, I have a paleo portion.
Oh, paleo portion.
4 ounce for $9, and then
yeah, and that's something too, because one of the things that my wife and I noticed right away, well, I'd say within 3 months, once we got used to the paleo style of eating, that the portions went down.
It's true.
Yes, you don't eat as much.
Well,
I know when I had your beef stew yesterday, it was. Yeah. And I saw that big bowl, and I thought, oh my God, how am I going to eat this? And I couldn't quite finish it.
Right.
But yeah, you shrink everything down, yeah. And that's something that I think that people just don't understand until they're into it for a little while.
And I noticed that when people start my Good to Go program, I generally have to give them a little more protein than they're going to end up usually wanting after about 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
In fact, when my daughter started, my daughter and Jamie, her friend, started, they couldn't get enough of these little turkey patties that I used to make for them, right? I could make their normal things, and then I would give them an extra turkey patty, right? Like probably 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah.
They couldn't get enough, and that went on for about 2 to 3 weeks.
And then it started to...
And then they go, Mom, we don't need as many turkey patties anymore, but we want more vegetables. So it was like their bodies had gotten their
Yeah.
protein deficiency handled.
Because we really need a little bit of protein, 20% of our total calories from protein is enough.
Exactly. I mean, I think, what is it, Nora recommends 3 to 5 ounces
Yeah.
of protein per serving.
Per serving, yeah. And
Which isn't a lot,
no, it's not.
but if it's the right quality.
Yeah. And you always have great soups.
We do. I have an unbelievable chef, Chef Jay.
Yeah, talk about him. How did you meet him? Because you were cooking yourself.
Well, actually, no, I wasn't.
Yeah, okay.
I started cooking myself
Yeah.
when I was doing, before
Right.
I got into the restaurant.
But then as soon as
But
you got to
I
the restaurant-
hired a chef
Okay.
as soon as I got into the restaurant. Chef Mason, he got me started, and he kind of helped me develop the menu.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of, I don't know, how do you describe it? It's like a little rustic kind of a menu,
Okay.
right? It's nothing too fancy, but it's like
Right.
a lot of home-cooked food.
Well, if you go to Grandma's house, they probably you'd see those things on the menu.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, you got 1 or 2 choices.
That's right.
And then you got the quiches and the other things
Some
that you have. You
soups
make
and
great
salads
quiches,
and
by the
things
way.
like that,
Yeah.
right.
And the
So-
Chef's Surprise, I had that the other one time, and that was a conglomeration of different soups all in one.
Oh,
That was
yeah, he gets
fantastic.
very creative. Yesterday's Chef's Surprise was a butternut soup with roasted garlic in it.
Uh-huh.
And, I mean, he comes up with different things all the time. But, what I love about Jason is he's got this fabulous French culinary background. And so he infuses that into kind of our rustic paleo fare,
Yeah.
if you will.
Yeah.
And
he's
his,
used to adding the fats, and
he
that type of-
loves adding
yeah.
the fats.
because that's where the flavor is,
That's
of course.
where the flavor is. I
Yeah.
mean, so he's already a very good chef
Mm-hmm.
in his own right. And when he came to work for me, it was, okay, have you cooked paleo? No, he hadn't. But I just gave him the paleo parameters.
Yeah.
He was like a kid in the candy store.
That's so cool.
And he just loves to come into work every day and just create a way. And I'm telling you, we do a lot of meatloaf there. People like the pork meatloaf, they like the beef meatloaf. Sometimes he'll do a mix,
Uh-huh.
right? And then every time you eat it, though, it might be a little different,
Sure.
because it depends on what seasonings we have
Right.
and what vegetables we have. He doesn't use any binders, any flours or anything
Right.
like that. So he puts a lot of different vegetables in it.
And puree some of them. and then-
Puree,
yeah.
some of them you don't even know they're in there,
Right,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, so it's delicious, and people love that.
Now, on St. Valentine's Day, is a week from tomorrow,
Yeah.
you're having a special deal, $35 per person. You can buy your tickets. And I was looking at the menu, prime rib.
Nyman's Ranch prime rib.
That sounds fantastic.
It just melts in your mouth.
Wild-caught citrus, seared salmon.
With the mango salsa.
Okay, and then
That's
we have
right.
baked sweet potato with leeks and gorgonzola. Prosciutto,
Wrapped asparagus.
That sounds just amazing.
I know, it's delicious.
Yeah, and then you have a salad.
We make a nice salad with a champagne vinaigrette.
Okay, and then you got a choice of chocolate.
He's doing a chocolate
flowers.
flourless torte
Okay, or the mousse.
or a
raspberry.
raspberry white chocolate mousse.
Well, I see that when I first saw it coming up, you've added things to it already.
Yeah.
So it's
Exactly.
growing as we speak. And that's
Exactly.
really what I love about your place. Now, if we go and keep on this site here, you can see this is some of the to-go.
Some of our to-go menus,
Yeah.
that's right.
And then we have, that's some kind of muffin.
We did, for a special catering,
Uh-huh.
he did a chocolate cupcake,
Mhm.
and then he made this beautiful frosting. That's coconut cream, coconut oil.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah,
And then some of your famous muffins.
our famous carrot muffins,
Yeah.
that's right.
And I guess we got out of... That's just fantastic. I love it. So, how did you meet Jason? Did you advertise?
I did. He came off of Craigslist.
Is that right?
I'm not kidding.
How cool.
I put an ad on, and he came walking in. He'd been down to the beach, apparently.
Okay.
And somebody, one of his friends, I think, said, hey, there's this posting for a chef. And he had been working as a chef someplace else, and kind of as a catering type of thing, and he was
Okay.
looking for something a little different.
Mhm.
So he came on in, and I liked what I heard, and I said, can you cook paleo? He goes, tell me what it is, right?
Yeah.
And we took off from there, and he's just been a joy. The customers love him. And
Yeah.
the thing about Jay is he is so personal with our
Yeah.
customers.
Yeah,
If
I
they-
know when he came up to me right away, I could tell, his eye, he's smiling through his eyes.
Exactly.
And it's really, really
He's
nice to
interested
see.
in what you want.
No doubt
And
about
we have customers that come in every day for lunch,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he knows exactly what they like, what they don't like. Like one of my customers, Risa, she loves his food, but she doesn't like a lot of onions. today he made the pork meatloaf, and he knew she was going to want it. So he made her own little bit of pork meatloaf
like
without any onions in it.
Yeah.
And I know when she comes in today, she's going to be thrilled.
And that's really what the personal touches are really what's missing in today's, corporate type of world. I was talking to, I think it was Tom this morning or one of my other customers, and we were talking about the CEOs, and I was telling him, well, my wife, when you call her, she's an attorney, when you call, you get her.
Exactly.
And when I was a general manager of a company, you could always call me, and I'd be answering the phone. And now, if you call any large corporation like Verizon, AT&T, or whatever, you get these numbers. You have to keep pressing, and you can keep waiting, and you don't actually get to a person until maybe 10 minutes into the conversation.
Exactly.
And they ask you all the same questions that the machine asked you. Where's all this information going? Are they just keeping us
keeping us busy?
Exactly. Yeah, it's weird.
Exactly.
So what about your other staff? Where did you find them?
I've got my daughter Jessica working with me now. She comes in and she helps me for lunch.
Okay.
And the customers love her. And she, of course, is living proof of the food, And then I hired another chef. Let me see, where did I find Lori? Somebody recommended Lori. I know, it was Bob and Daughters across the street.
Okay.
And she'd been in there, and they said, you should go over and talk to them. So she came over to see me, and I needed to add another chef because we expanded our hours till 8 o'clock every night, right?
Right, sure.
So Jay opens up, she closes, and she used to be the executive chef down at the Mermaid Tavern.
Oh, nice.
If you remember what that is.
Yeah.
So she's very much into healthy food. She herself has food allergies, so she's already done a lot of gluten-free, grain-free type of baking.
Yeah.
And by the way, they both are pastry chefs.
Oh, cool.
And they're just dying to get to that. We've just been so inundated with these other things.
Yeah.
But we do have a little bit of a dessert menu that we do try here and there and bring things out on occasion. The biggest problem I have is where am I going to put everything in that little space?
Yeah,
that is because we use all fresh food.
Yeah.
So every day I've got to have things brought in.
Yeah.
I just don't have enough room to put it.
Yeah.
And you can't have it laying around anyway.
No, you can't.
That's
for sure.
Yeah.
So tell me about your customers. So your customers come in, they're looking for paleo. They don't even know what paleo is.
I've got quite a mix. I have people who have been dying for a paleo
No
place.
doubt about that. This place has been screaming for it.
Exactly. They walk in, they go, I've been wanting a place like this. Now I can go out to eat.
Yeah.
Because they can't otherwise. A lot of these people have medical issues. And when they eat the wrong kind of food, it really does affect them.
Well, it's even when you tolerate it. Like, I tolerate it much better than my wife does. But so we go out to like Bonefish, where we go on Friday nights, and we eat that. And I notice that I don't feel quite the same.
It's not the same,
no.
is it?
And even though they have pretty good beef, it's not, raised the right way.
It's not what you're used to.
Not what you're used to. And if I have the salmon, it has to be the wild salmon, only available a couple of times a year for a couple of weeks here and there.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's the farm-raised stuff.
The farm-raised, I can't do that.
Even the trout is farm-raised.
I know.
And all the cattle we know is farm-raised.
Yeah,
forget
so that one.
Yeah, so there's no wild food available. So, you're limited, so we go out. So I'm thinking one day a week is not going to hurt me too much, but I've been talking to my wife, and I says, we should start going to Caroline's. On a Friday night and make that.
Exactly.
And that's definitely, what I want to do. And so that will be the next step for us, is leaving the major chain. And it feels good to me, too.
Yeah,
And then we can bring our wine bottle if we want to do that.
Exactly.
So that's cool.
Well,
and that's another thing I wanted to mention. You can actually, during the Valentine's Day or in the evening, probably bring a little bottle of wine. And,
of course.
Yeah.
Bring your own.
Yeah.
Bring your own. We've got a little cork opener we can
Well, people who
pop
know
that
wine
for you.
bring their own.
That's right.
So there's no problem there. But
That's
that's a good thing, and maybe in the future you'll get a beer and wine license. Who knows?
Exactly.
But you'll need to get a little bigger
it.
space.
I need a bigger space for that.
Yeah.
I mean, we're so jammed in there, but we're happy. We're happy to be there.
Well, you got to start somewhere, and it's such a good feeling in the place. When I come there, no matter if it's busy or not, it's always a smiling face. The customers are always really inquisitive about what's going on here. That's what I notice.
They are. I've got a stack of books in the back, and so when people come in, they will ask about, well, what is paleo? And so I like to refer them to my little paleo library.
So you recommend certain books? What do you usually recommend first of all?
I think A good general book is that Practical Paleo book.
Okay.
That's a really good
It has
one.
recipes in it,
It's
too.
got a
Yeah.
lot of recipes. In fact, my chocolate avocado pudding recipe is out of that one.
I had never had that before until
Yeah.
I got to your place, and that was amazing because you can taste just a hint of the avocado,
Yeah.
but the chocolate is so rich.
It is.
That's
It's
fantastic.
got banana and a little coconut milk. We sweeten it with a little bit of maple syrup.
Yeah.
And you know, the thing about cooking with your natural foods,
Mm-hmm.
like depends on the avocados, how big they are, how small they are, the flavor of the banana.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be kind of able to adjust it
Mm-hmm.
to get to that one flavor. It's not just about putting a recipe together.
Yeah.
It's about being able to taste it
Yeah, because
and
the fruit
adjust
changes, and yeah.
because the food
Especially
is,
with fruits.
Exactly.
Yeah, vegetables are more consistent in flavor,
That's
but
right.
the fruits are not, depending on, whether they're really ripe or not quite so ripe and
Exactly.
stuff like that.
The reason I like her book is she has different health issues that she will address. And so if you've got digestion problems, if you've got heart problems, she will actually lay out a 30-day menu for you,
Wow.
paleo,
Mm-hmm.
so that it'll kind of help you get the right foods in your diet that are going to help whatever it is
So
you're
it's-
trying to handle.
Okay, so that particular book is almost like a little consultant there for
It's
you.
a great little, yeah, exactly,
Okay.
exactly. And that was one of the first ones that I used. I used that one, and I used the Paleo Autoimmune. Now, my Good to Go program,
Mm-hmm.
they are all on the Paleo Autoimmune protocol,
Okay.
whether they want to be or not.
Now, the difference you mentioned was in autoimmune is you're taking out many more things like the seeds.
It's mainly the nuts and
fruits,
seeds.
Nuts and seeds, yeah.
It's the eggs,
Right.
and also
And
I
that's
take out
particularly
those
chicken eggs,
nightshades.
I would
Yeah,
think.
chicken
Yeah.
eggs, and the nightshade vegetables.
Okay.
That's the biggest thing. I'll tell you, I had been doing the paleo,
Yeah.
and then I went on to the autoimmune paleo.
And you noticed the difference there.
I was on that for about 4 months, and then I went home to visit my parents. And my parents always have a big garden,
Okay.
right? Well,
So
the
the
tomatoes
nightshades
were
are there.
on. My dad was digging up the white new potatoes, right? We had to make the potato salad, right? The bell peppers. I woke up the next morning, and my hands were swollen, my joints were stiff, and I'm like, what the heck's going on?
Yeah.
It was the nightshades.
Yeah. And, I noticed when I was in Macrobiotic, one of the things they said is that the Chinese people use citrus and nightshades only as condiments.
Oh, right.
And you, like most of them, like all your citrus really comes from China. It's inherent in China.
Exactly.
And they never used it as fruit.
Right.
They used it strictly as a
As a
condiment
condiment.
for accents and helping the digestive system, as a probiotic or prebiotic type of thing. So I always thought that was interesting. I noticed when my wife went off in nightshades, her arthritis improved a lot. And she
Exactly.
has a lot of problems, the swelling of the joints and things like that.
Yeah.
And the grains were amazing. When she went off grains, she says, I still have the swelling and the stiffness, but it's not sore anymore.
Right. Oh, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, so that's really cool.
Exactly.
So, what do you like best about being in the restaurant business, in the paleo restaurant business?
Well, if it wasn't for the paleo, I wouldn't be in the restaurant
Okay,
business.
okay.
Oh, it's a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the customers. That's probably the only reason I'm staying in this business.
Okay.
Because they come in, they really love the food, they appreciate it, and it helps them. I have one customer who started having lunch with me. And she would have lunch once or twice, come in with her friends, right? And then all of a sudden she's eating there every day, and she told me, I need to know what to do because I feel so much better just having lunch
Wow.
here.
What a great story.
Yeah.
Folks, we'll be back in a couple of minutes. You can still call us at 877-927-6648. We'll be right back.
All right, I lost my little thing here.
Oh, yeah. You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive.
We take it every morning. Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
We're told to follow our passion and everything else will fall into place. I hope that's what each of you are doing each and every day. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Money Master Show at TFNN.com, and my passion for technical analysis is what led me to the most fundamental discovery in pattern recognition, the Rhodes Momentum Indicator, market scanner, and trading strategy, a set of tools that identify the momentum and power of the trend, the likes of which have never been seen before, for every market and every time frame. Yes, folks, the trend is your friend, unless you're on the other side. New to technical analysis? This is the place to start. And experienced traders take advantage of the trend like never before. Experience the power of the Rhodes Momentum Indicator each day, available to subscribers of my newsletter service, Mastering Probability. I guarantee your satisfaction for the next 30 days unconditionally, so there's no risk to you other than being on the wrong side of the trend. Mastering Probability, available on the homepage of TFNN.com. And folks, live with passion.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back to the show, folks. Nico and Kara here instead of Paige. Paige is going to be back next week, by the way, so she'll be talking about maybe what she was doing today, I'm thinking. So what other things do you do besides this? Right? What's your other passion do you have? Any secret passions in there?
Oh, some secret passions.
Well, music, I know, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so we have something in common.
We do have something in common.
Yeah.
And I just, my little music career through my daughter, I used to do a little songwriting.
Cool.
And I now have a son who does songwriting and producing, and he's getting ready to put his own album out. So
wow.
Kind of like that. And,
yeah.
You know, I'm a grandma now. So I've got 2 grandkids.
Welcome aboard.
And I love to just spend time with them when I can.
Yeah.
So they're always my priority.
Yeah, I have a granddaughter coming down to visit next week sometime. I think on Saturday she'll be here. So that's I have 6 grandchildren.
Wow.
And I have 3 great-grandchildren with 2 more on the way.
You're kidding.
No.
Fabulous.
Started when I was young. 21, my first child was born. So.
That's not too bad.
No, it's not too bad. And
well, you can still enjoy them.
Yeah.
Right?
So what energizes you in life? What really sets you up to say this is how I keep going?
You know, I've always been interested in things that help people do better. Like when I first got out of college, I went to work at a YMCA. I was a youth program director, and I created this whole inner city program. We had 10,000 program participants a year.
Wow.
And I loved that job.
Now, where was this?
This was back in Michigan. Benton Harbor, Michigan.
Benton Harbor, yeah. Okay.
And I loved that job. It's probably one of my favorite jobs still today.
Yeah.
And then, I've gotten myself involved. I've belonged to some women's groups where we work with abused women and children and things like that.
Yeah.
And I just seem to find myself drawn to things that are going to help improve people's lives, right? So this
falls right into there, doesn't it?
Is right there.
Yeah.
Nutrition is a valid form of therapy.
Yeah.
It really can make a difference in your life and how you feel, your health.
That's what Paige and I are really here for, is to let the people know that the change is easy enough.
It is.
If you're pretty healthy. If you're not, you'll have some challenges.
Yeah.
But at the other end is so much different than living the American dream with your fast food or your processed food.
Exactly.
It's, it puts you in a stupor, and I really think behind most of the problems that we have here in the modern world with the people with ADD and shooting people and being, really frustrated, I think, and in one of my in my newsletter, I have a real interesting article about animals, why they seek out hallucinogenics. And one of the stories in there is that the water buffalo in Vietnam always used to stay away from the poppy fields. They always ate the nice grass and everything like that. But when the Americans came in and started bombing, they would go to the poppy fields.
You're kidding
They would
me.
break out of enclosures and everything just to get the opioid, because it's a stress reliever.
Oh, that would make sense.
Yeah, and that's why people do drugs, and we want to say, okay, there's something not right here. We're not balanced. We want to get balanced. Maybe this will help me. At least it'll help me not have that.
Exactly.
So it's an escape.
It's an escape, and nobody wants to feel pain.
Nobody wants to feel pain.
No,
Nobody
you're
wants
not
to feel
feeling
depression.
good. Exactly.
Anything, whether it's psychological or physical, it all manifests in you just not being right.
Exactly.
So I think a lot of things can be solved by changing our diet, and that's why I'm so passionate about it. I see what it's done for me. I see what it's done for my friends. I see it's done for you.
Yeah. Well, when I started onto the paleo, I lost 25 pounds in about a year.
Yeah.
And it came off so easily.
Yeah, because you don't have to think about it.
I wasn't counting calories, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
I mean, I pretty much just did what Nora suggested in her book and followed those guidelines and ate till I was satisfied.
Folks, you need to get to Carolyn's Kitchen at 421 Cleveland Street. The number there is 727-447-2536. Thanks for joining us.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
You're watching Tiger TV.